A word when you have a moment. Greetings. I am Sia Rowan. I help the spirits in this area.
You help them?
I speak with them and for them, and sometimes they speak through me. We keep this land safe for spirits, so that no harm comes to them or to the people who live here. That is why I ask for your help.
Right. What do you need me to do?
Years ago, when mages rebelled across southern Thedas, Templars from the southern Chantry marched upon Rivian. They declared our mages criminals and killed many of us. The unacknowledged pain of that injustice twists spirits into demons. Stop the demons and let compassion ease that pain, and the land will be safer.
I'll see what I can do.
Your pay! Attack!
That's a problem.
Can't get along.
They're hitting us from afar. Get ready.
Here we go.
Ranged incoming.
Come together.
Ranged attackers!
We're under fire. Made it through.
Greetings and welcome. You stand in Ravane, home of magic, danger, and adventure. Tell me, if you will, do you hunger for excitement?
I'm not against adventure. What have you got?
A Ravani Lord of Fortune was following a map leading to buried treasure. Sadly, Ritzinger attempted to loot a treasure chest mid-battle. Understandable enthusiasm, and I remember them fondly. But you can carry out their final wishes to find this treasure no matter the danger and earn gold and glory.
If you give me the map, I'll see what I can do.
Corpses, but pirate corpses!
Guess we're not the only ones after the treasure.
All right, everyone.
Take that.
Great hit, Rook.
Got things ready. How's that?
Coin for your thoughts.
I'm fine.
Oh, there's an act for the road.
I'm just a little worried about everything. But we're gonna be fine, right?
We don't know that.
Very comforting.
We'll manage something. Might even make it out alive.
Slightly better.
I try.
More dead pirates!
Got us at range. Got you covered. Now it's your turn.
They're at range.
Still standing. Not bad. All set.
Better be ready. You got it.
We're on fire. Look out! And Luke comes through.
I call that a win.
My job's done. Your turn.
Left side.
Got us from a distance.
glinting, gleaming, stealing us with steel, splinters flying as they kick in the door to our home.
Minrathous is so bright.
Right.
The magical lights, they're on all the time. How do you sleep?
With my eyes shut.
I miss the stars.
Now there's a nice shot.
They're waiting for us.
I got the setup, you do the rest. Got us at range. Watch it.
Well, that's a relief.
I always wanted to battle a corpse pirate captain.
Time for a fight.
Whatever you say. On to you. Coming at range.
Got us from a distance.
Right on him. Range incoming.
Now it's your turn.
Ready to go.
Let's go again.
One for us.
You have found it.
Wait. Did you know where the treasure was the whole time?
You had to find it yourself. The real treasure was the journey. Now, Ritzinger would have used this to purchase a new ship. Since their last caught fire and burned, I believe a lady was involved. But the gold and glory are yours now, to use as you will. Adventure!
Trouble nearby. Didn't even know what hit him.
Got things ready. Would you look at her?
Got him good, Rook.
Baking in my armor. So much hotter here than back in Ferelden. Kill on sight. But they don't look like abominations. They just look sad.
We've got company. Good stuff. Well, that's done.
We ran, but they chased us. We tried to surrender, but they killed us as we knelt. The spirits roar as the fire comes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The wood will always be scorched, but the rain has washed away the fire and smoke. Thank you.
Trouble scouted. Nice moves.
Something's ready.
Removing assets.
That looked like it hurt.
Goddess of rain. Darling, use yours. Lucky shot.
Tony's still fucking dealing
Got through that.
It's strange to see what the Templar Order's like here. Mages controlling Templars.
Templars controlling mages, like they do in the South, it's not much better.
Oh, I know. None of it is good. See that? Bad guys.
Ready if you are.
That's root for ya. They're hitting us from afar. Ranged attackers.
Made it through that one.
They're shooting for us!
We're under fire! massive range. Watch it. Now it's your turn.
Good job.
I've got the setup to do the rest.
The fury of Shark's Mouth. No longer furious. I'm such a mess. How do you come out of battle looking so perfect?
Perfect.
You know what I mean. Once the smoke clears, there you are. Not a single hair out of place. Every time.
Well, I have no idea. It must be magic.
Coming at range. Nice one.
Pumpkin's ready.
Don't just stand there.
All set. Nice move.
Good to go again.
Ready when you are. My job's done. Your turn. Get clear. Nice work, Harding.
Thanks.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. Besides, I have news, and every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Magister Parvus, it's good to see you again.
At least someone appreciates my presence.
You're our eyes in the Magisterium. If someone spots you here...
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Arlethan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Preparing for something big. I don't like the sound of that. We barely got out of Weishaupt alive, and we needed Solas's help in Arlethan.
And that's why we need to know what the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now. We really need to figure out the God's big plan. Dorian thinks Knight Commander Lenos is part of it. So let's track him down first.
Always good to see you in here, Rook. Come back soon. We'll have more.
How well do you know Maevaris?
By reputation, she's been a prominent politician for a long time, and a hero to boot. We don't work together much, but from what I've seen, she's earned the good name.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he's been nursing it a while. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks, and this map. Minratha's targets. That doesn't sound good. The bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain. This all sounds like trouble.
What are you poking about in there
Dorian
for?
will want to know.
Pleasure to serve.
Lenos intends to destroy the city with Blight and Darkspawn.
Carthus. Nothing like an attack to cause chaos in the city. You should head there immediately.
All right, let's go.
Venatori! Strike now! Got him in position!
Got us at range! Nice move. Now it's your turn.
Your heresy wounds you. Ready to go again. Good work, everyone.
Company, get ready. Look at that.
We got company. alive? Still alive.
Something tore through these gates. Something big.
Got company.
Nice, Rook. Look out! We call that a win.
Rook gets that one.
More blights in the way. That did it. We can get through now.
Think there's enough of them?
They're shooting for us.
Everything's crumbling down here. Might be tricky to get out.
At least a dozen people have been lost trying to map this place. But I've mentioned that.
Still blocked. There's another boil somewhere. Find the blight boils. We need to clear the way and keep pushing. We got it. Way should be clear.
Shadow Dragons? How did you find this thing? Venatori, for me! You think you won? Do you think you can stop the Venatori? Or the risen gods?
I won't give up the city to them. More to you.
The Shadow Dragons have brought nothing but chaos to the city!
At least we're not trying to blight it.
Finish it.
Something's ready.
to Tevinter!
That's one less corrupt Templar in Mathis.
Can't say he'll be missed.
Let's look around, see what we find. Lanos' documents. They detail the Venatori's long-term plans and what they want to do to Tevinter. These star charts predict an eclipse to make magic stronger. The Risen God's ritual. That's what the gods in the Venatori are preparing for.
So that's the play. A ritual performed under an eclipse to strengthen its power.
All this. The ritual, the eclipse, and the Venatori plans. We have to bring this to the Shadow Dragons immediately.
Let's head back to the Shadow Dragons.
Evil old gods, rituals, waiting for the stars. It's about as Tevinter as blood magic and hubris. Learning about the gods' plans is wonderful, of course. But the lists of magisters you got your hands on, now there's the real gold.
You've looked at it already. Of course you have.
Information on their backers, the ties to illegal slavery. Don't you see what this means? This is power, May. Imagine becoming Archon and using this against those who've been hurting the people for years.
You, on the throne, Dorian.
Tell me that wouldn't be a splendid way to bring about real change.
Sounds like someone's got a plan.
Goodness, you make me sound absolutely nefarious. I love it. But yes, if the Venatori can scheme, so could we.
But how would you use this information exactly?
Dorian wants to use it to crush our enemies by whatever means necessary. I prefer to use it to rally the people. I say we make the information known. Allow the people to see the real justice served. Prove that from now on, we work for them.
We tried that already. Or have you forgotten the Lucerni? I no longer trust that political machine will work in our favor. No. We must get at the root of the problem before they can react. A more forceful approach. Destroy them and their networks utterly.
Swords and spies and blackmail? The devious means you learned in the South? If we go outside the system, we invite everyone else to do the same. No. We have to do this in the open. Show the people of Tevinter that we're here for them.
We're Shadow Dragons. It's right there in the name. You supported this because you knew the system didn't work for the people.
The point was to work in the shadows until we could work in the light. And Rook has brought us what we need.
May, the Imperium's politics burned you once and you still...
Enough. We're not the only ones who have a stake in this. Rook, you have been instrumental in all this. Which strategy do you prefer?
What sort of change are you trying to achieve?
For a start, slavery. Abhorrent. It needs to go no more.
And Tevinter has been ruled by the Altus Mages for all of its history. That must change. The Zoparati, non-mages, deserve a say in their own governance.
And all that's just the beginning of what will undoubtedly be a long journey.
Shouldn't you be on the same side?
We are on the same side. We both know what Tevinter needs. How best to get it, that's the question.
If we went with Dorian's plan, I'd support it fully. But we won't, because he'll come around and realize that I'm right.
And I'd absolutely back you up on that, if you were right, which you aren't.
We'll see.
Will we?
Nevaris, you really believe making this evidence public will work?
Dorian wants to work behind the scenes, but once again, it's the Magisters and Highbloods pulling the Imperium strings. That doesn't inspire. It's a tactic used by our enemies. We need to show Tevinter that we can be different.
Unless they find some way to bury it? Or leverage their wealth, power, and status as they often have before?
Politics is a long game. If we use force against our enemies, our allies will remember it.
Dorian, are you really suggesting violent revolution?
Not necessarily. Sometimes a mere threat of violence is sufficient.
He learned that from his friends in the south. I hear Ferelden settled a succession crisis with a duel.
It worked. Astoundingly.
We're not Ferelden.
I'm merely saying we need to consider bold and creative methods of achieving our ends. The game is rigged. Why play by rules crooked magisters already exploit? Clear the board and start over. If they're gone, we can fill the magisterium with those who respect the office. Then we'll actually see progress.
You want me to choose who will be Archon? But I'm not even from here. I can't decide.
Then talk to the ones who are. See what they say. Asher and Tarquin, Nev Gallus, they're all a part of this, just as you are. We should all be comfortable with whatever course we take.
All right, I'll go do that.